So we'll get started very short. Good morning to everybody. So yeah, for those of you typing in the chat box, yes, Will and Kitty are both here with us today as well. So if you have questions specifically for them, feel free as well. But get started in just a moment. Just give the last few people a chance to log in and then we'll get to go. Good morning, good morning. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock on my watch here and local time for me, top of the hour. So let's make a start this morning. Hi, I'm Andrew and welcome to another Experience It, Learn It, Use It session from National Geographic Learning, where we're looking at multiple lessons on some of the programs we've been using. Today we're going to be looking at the Time Zones program, which is the cover you can see on the screen here. And if you look in the bottom right corner, you'll see you'll see a name down the bottom here. This lady here, Carmela. So if you were at our web on Tuesday, that Carmela did, you know her already, and she is the author of the teacher's books and some of the other parts of the Time Zones program. Okay, so this session is kind of following on from what Carmela talked about on Tuesday. If you missed that one, later we'll show you the webinars page. You can always find the recording of Carmela's session there. But today we're going to be looking at going through the lesson material a little bit more. Okay, so let's take a look. So just for those of you who don't know me, I know quite a few of you do. I'm recognizing a lot of names, but my name is Andrew. I'm a teacher trainer here at National Geographic Learning. I'm from New Zealand originally, based here in Taipei City. And I've been working in education for a long time, as you can tell. Not much hair left. It's going gray, what is left. And just a little fun fact about me, I studied laser physics at university. And then when I got short-sighted, I had my eyes lasered as well. So I studied the theory and the practical applications of laser use and got my eyes lasered. Unfortunately, now I'm getting a little older. I need to start getting glasses again, I think. But anyway, a little bit of fun for the morning. Okay, just before we get started, the chat box, most of you are using the chat box already. Please just switch your options down here. You have a drop-down box just above where you type, and you can set it to all panelists and attendees. That way everyone can see what you type. If you don't do that, then only myself and Kitty and Will can see what you're typing. Okay? Okay. And the second thing is we do have a Q&A function, which some of you are using already as well. If you put a message into Q&A, it's useful, like a question, because it won't get lost like a question will in the chat box. And the Q&A, Kitty and myself and maybe will get on and answer some of the questions as we go and at the end of this session. Okay, so if you have questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A box for later. Okay, so today what are we looking at? We're looking at Time Zones, 3rd edition material today. And Time Zones is a teens program. It's designed for teenage learners. We're looking at level 2, unit 5. And the topic here, it says, are parrots smarter than people? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the classroom presentation tool. So just give me one moment to switch over my sharing. Where did I hide it? It's here. Now I need to just switch screens. It's here. Okay. So too many windows open at the moment on my end. Okay, so here we have the material. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I can't go through all parts of the lesson today. It's too long, the whole unit, but I'll go through pieces of it, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to zoom in here a little bit and have a look at this bird. So what type of bird is this? Do you know? What type of bird is it? In the chat box, let me know what type of bird it is. What do you think? It's a parrot, yes. What type of parrot? If you look up in the corner here, it says it's an African grey parrot. Okay, very cute looking bird. And the title of this unit that we're looking at is, are parrots smarter than people? Are parrots smarter than people? So what do you think? Chat box. Are parrots smarter than people? What do you think? Yes or no? Okay, someone says no, no, not really, yes, no, 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 no. Grey parrot, no, I don't think so, nah, okay, okay. So a lot of people thinking different things about the parrots are smarter than people. Would you think, are parrots smart? Not are parrots smarter than people, but are parrots smart? What do you think? Parrots are smart? It depends, yeah. Okay, I think so, right? Okay. Well, I think this parrot's smarter than me because I was actually going to do a quick poll, which I'm going to do now, and I forgot. So let me do the quick poll. I just wanted to find out who's here today. If I was a parrot, I probably would have remembered this. Let me launch the poll really fast. I just want to see who's here. So if you can vote for which types of learners you teach. Just do this quickly. We'll just take 15 seconds maybe. Just kind of want to see who we've got here, because today is a teens program. Some of the things I do will still be applicable to young learners or to older students, but I'm just getting an idea of who's in the room today. Okay, I'm going to pause it there. That's good enough. So it looks like we're pretty evenly split, actually. Lots of people from lots of different teaching situations. That's great. So that's all I really needed to know. We're pretty even across there. Okay. Nice one. Okay, so as I said, if I'm going through and doing activities today, some of these can still be used with other age groups as well, even though this is a teens program. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go down here a little bit, and down here there's a listening task. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to listen to some audio and just listen to it. We don't have to answer any questions for now. Just listen. Okay, just listen. Here we go.
Most people think that humans are smarter than other animals. But there are many animals that are very intelligent. African grey parrots are smarter than most birds. They can copy the way humans speak. They can also count objects and even tell colors apart. Horses can solve problems. For example, many horses know how to open doors. They can also recognize human faces, voices, and smells. Most dogs can learn rules and commands quickly. Border collies are the cleverest dogs. They are easy to train and can look after sheep on farms. Some border collies can understand more than 200 words. Cats can learn tricks, recognize their names, and understand commands. Compared to dogs, cats can remember information for longer periods of time.
Okay, there we go. Now, I have a question, because what did you think of that audio of what was being said? Was that easy to follow? Was that a little hard to understand for you? So maybe you can say, if it's very easy for you to understand, it's like a 1, right? And if it's really, really, really hard, it's like a 5. So give me a number from like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is very easy, 5 is very hard. Okay, what do you think? For you, pretty understandable? Okay. So for most of you, it's like, yep, that's fine, right? Okay, now I'm just going to mention this because this level is for learners at the CEFR A1 level, still at the beginner level, really. So a lot of students who listen to this, if it's actually students, may not know a lot of the words or may have difficulty following what was just said, okay? So I'm going to go through this a little bit like I might with my students to might break it down and make it a little easier, okay? Good. So I have a question for you. Now you're my students again. What animals did they talk about? What animals did they talk about in the recording? Do you remember the different animals in the chat box? Cats, parrots, yep. Horse, border collie, dogs, yep. Very good. So I think we've got them all. Francis has got them all there. Parrot or birds, yep. Horse, dog, and cats. Okay. Those were the main ones we heard about. Okay. Good one. Okay, now let's listen again a little bit. Just listen to the first 2 sentences. Let's listen.
Most people think that humans are smarter than other animals. But there are many animals that are very intelligent.
Okay, so what was the last word? What was the last word? Intelligent. Okay, so maybe this is a new word you don't know. So what is intelligent? If you are intelligent, it means you are smart. Yeah. Okay. Someone in the chat box. You are bright. Oh, that's a good word. You are maybe cunning. Very good. Okay. So we might need to help students understand some of the different vocabulary that we've got there as well. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to a different screen, which is, oh, actually, just before I do that, let me go to here. Okay. I'm going to switch to this screen. Okay. Now this is the script of what you just heard, Okay, can you look through there and can you tell me which words are difficult? Which words don't you know? Which words don't you know? This is what my students might do, okay? So for you, which words are maybe unusual? Which words don't you know very well? We can take a quick look, okay? So maybe we see intelligent as a difficult word, okay? Any other difficult words here? Yep, solve, very good. Yep, so that one might be a difficult word. Yeah, collies, right? So this is border collies. We'll put all that together. Clever, yeah, or cleverest, right? Yeah, that one might be difficult, okay? Yep, compared to dogs, yeah. Smarter, yeah. So it might be there's some words in here that we need to help people understand. Maybe even a word like copy, right? Or what does this mean? Tell colors apart, like that phrase. What does that phrase mean? Okay, so I won't do it today because you already know what they are, but we could talk about what some of these words mean. Okay, maybe we could get the students to read this as well. Okay, right. So what I'm going to do is let's back, we're going to look at some questions about this, okay? Maybe we've listened to it once or twice more and we've talked about some of the vocabulary, okay? But let's go look at the questions that we've got here. So I'm going to switch back over to here. Let's go down and look at the questions that we have in this activity. So on the screen, you should be able to see 4 questions with drop-down box, okay, like here, okay? So let's take a look at what these answers are. Okay, so let's try and do it from memory first, okay? African grey parrots can count. Is that true or false? For number 1, is it true or false? So number 1, we've got some people saying it's true. Okay, number 2, horses can recognize human faces. So number 2, true or false? True, 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 true. Okay, lots of people saying true. Okay, number 3, border collies look after sheep on farms. True or false? True, 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 true. Seems to be everybody's just saying true, 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 true. Okay, good job. Dogs can remember things for longer periods of time than cats. Number 4, true or false? Okay, so we've got a mix here. Eric is suggesting number 4 is false. We got some other people, Daniel saying false. Ronaldo's saying maybe true. Okay, I think there's a few more falses. Let's try false. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's take a look. Let's go back. So parrots can count, horses can recognize faces, border collies look after sheep, dogs remember things longer than cats. Now, one point here is because today we are doing comparisons. Maybe the students don't really understand longer and how it works, so they may get confused about number 4. But let's go back to the script and see if we can answer those questions. So parrots, horses, collies, border collies, and dogs. So parrots. So can parrots count? Where can we find that? Can parrots count? Yeah, so I think, oh wait, sorry, I've got too many windows open. Oh, that's really annoying. Sorry, I've got too many windows open. I can't get to what I want. Okay, there we go. So it says here, African grey parrots, they can also count objects. Okay, so we've got that. That one's true. Good. Okay. Now, what about horses? What did it say about horses? Horses can recognize faces, right? Recognize human faces. Okay, so that's that piece. Yes. Okay. Border collies can look after sheep on farms. Yep, so that's true. Okay. And the last one, down here it says compared to dogs. Now, who remembers longer? Is it cats remember longer or dogs remember longer? So this one is cats remember longer, right? Cats can remember information longer. So that means the last one is false, okay? So if we go back to our screen here we go. These were our answers. I think we've got them right. Let's check. And yes, we're right. We've got them all right, okay? Well done, everybody. Okay, so you can see we can do this one orally with audio. We can listen to it. We can also read it because the script's there as well. So we could do like a reading evidence exercise as well. Okay, now, what do you think? Let's look down the bottom here. Which animal do you think is the smartest and why? So in the chat box, which animal do you think is the smartest and why? what's your opinion here? So you can say, I think what? So Daniel, you just said elephant. Daniel, can you make a whole sentence? If you're my student, I'd make you say a whole sentence, right? Okay. So who can give me a whole sentence here? I think what? And also you have to say why, right? You have to say why. It's taking longer to type when I say that, right? So for me, I think smartest animals. Which animal is the smartest? So Donald thinks elephants is the smartest among them, okay. Someone's saying border collies are the smartest because they learn quickly. Yeah, it could be true. Okay, I think maybe my cat is the smartest because it can climb on top of my room's door. Oh, that means it's agile, maybe. Is it smart? Dolphins are the smartest animal because they can follow instructions. Yeah. I think dolphins are the smartest animals because they just get around to swim in the ocean and eat fish and they don't have to work and do too much, right? Anyway, dolphins can solve many puzzles, says Amir. Yeah, that's true. Nice one. Okay, so we've got lots of opinions, right? And we can use I think to talk about opinions, right? So let's look in this unit, what are we going to be looking at? So down here, we've got 3 goals. It says we're going to describe smart animals and use language for comparing 2 things, especially animals. And then we're going to describe how animals use tools. Now, we might not do the 3rd one today. Again, we don't have time to do the whole unit. We will do as much as we can, okay? So let's take a look at the next piece here. I'm going to look at this piece about comparing 2 things. So let's go ahead and look at this chart here at the bottom of the screen that I've got. This is, if I zoom out for a second, you can see this is part of a page, right? I'm just wanting to look at this chart at the bottom here, okay? So we've got some things on here. It says horses are faster than dogs, okay? So here we have a phrase, something faster than something, okay? So if I go back to my whiteboard here, let me jump over to my whiteboard. To use this as my whiteboard today, okay? So if I grab my pen, and we can say, the thing we had there were can't spell, horses. Horses are smarter than dogs. Okay, so there are 3 pieces here, right? There is this piece, okay? Horses are smarter. That's 1 piece, okay? Then we've got another piece here. Let me change colors. Than, okay? And then we've got a 3rd piece down here, which we'll do in green. Dogs, okay? So what things am I comparing? What am I comparing? I am comparing horses and dogs, okay? Horses and dogs. So I can say for this one, if I think about the sentences I have, this puts 2 sentences together, okay? So I can say, for example, I can say horses are smart, right? And I could also say dogs are smart as well, right? I could say dogs are smart. Yeah, I think that's true, okay? But if horses are smarter than dogs, that means horses are more, right? So maybe what I can say, let's say dogs are smart, but horses are very smart. Okay, so if I was to have like a smart gauge, right, for horses, right? Maybe I can say dogs are smart, but horses are very smart, okay? Horses have more ticks in the smart box, okay? So horses are very smart, okay? So if I compare, then I can say the horses are smarter than the dogs, okay? Good, makes sense, okay? So if we go down, let's have a little bit more whiteboard space here. Let's choose a couple of other animals or something, right? Let's think of 2 other animals. What about if I say spider, okay? And maybe a cockroach, okay? Now, what can we say about a spider or about a cockroach? What can we say? What can we say? Spiders are what? What are spiders like? Spiders are in the chat box. Okay, scary. Okay, spiders are scary. Okay. Are cockroaches scary? Yeah, I think cockroaches are kind of scary as well. So I'm going to put that one down there. Okay, scary. Okay, right now. So spiders are scary. Cockroaches are scary. Which one is very scary? Which one is very scary? Spiders or cockroaches? Which one is very? Spiders. Okay, so let's do spiders. They are very scary. Okay, good. Now up here, let's just go back up a minute. When we did the dogs and horses, we had smart right here. We had smart, but then this one was smarter, right? Smarter. Okay, so when we're down here with scary, we need the comparative adjective, the word that's called the comparative adjective. So the one for scary, okay, is we change it to scarier, or we can also say more scary for this one, okay? We'll talk about why in a moment, okay? We'll talk about why in a moment. Okay, spiders are very scary, cockroaches are scary. Now, if I want to put the two together, what can I say? What can I say? Rachel's asking, which one is better? It doesn't matter, Rachel. You can use either for this case, okay? We'll talk about why in a moment, okay? So what would I say? How would I write this together? So I'm going to use, let's use scarier, just to keep it like the horses one above. Scarier than. Okay, so what goes on the two pieces here? So in number one, what do I put? And what do I put in number two here? So what goes in number one? What goes in number one? Do I put cockroaches are or spiders are? Spiders are. Okay, so we go spiders are scarier than, so that means cockroaches goes over here. Good. Okay. Now, for students, maybe they pick this up quickly, but if not, maybe with the visual aids here, we can help them understand the idea, a smaller piece first, okay? So now let's go back and look at the bigger table, okay? So let's go new share back to where we were, back on this table, here we go. So now we've got some different ways of saying this, right? So up here it says, horses are faster than dogs, okay? But we've got some other ways to say it too, okay? Let's listen to what it says. Let's listen. Let me just make sure I'm sharing the sound. I am. Okay.
Horses are faster than dogs. I think cats are more interesting than fish.
So the second one, I think, so that's an opinion, okay? Cats are more interesting than fish. Can we say interestinger? Actually, we can't. We'll see why in a minute, okay? Okay.
Which are more playful, rabbits or turtles?
Which are more playful, rabbits or turtles? So here we're asking a question, okay? So which are more playful, rabbits or turtles? Which one? Okay, cool. Okay, let's look at the last piece here.
Rabbits are more playful than turtles, but turtles are friendlier than rabbits.
So here we've got the person is saying two things. Rabbits are more playful than turtles. Turtles are friendlier than rabbits. Okay. Okay, last one.
Both rabbits and turtles are playful.
So both rabbits and turtles are playful. So they both are playful. So if I talk about horse and dog, I can say horses and dogs. I could say both horses and dogs are fast. Both spiders and cockroaches are scary, but spiders are more scary, right? Or spiders are scarier than cockroaches. Okay. Cool. Okay, and then over here on the right-hand side of the table, we can see the adjectives and the comparatives, okay? And so sometimes you can see tall, taller, big, bigger, friendly, friendlier, okay? Intelligent, more intelligent. Why is that? Okay, so if we look down the bottom here, we've got three rules. Okay, I'll just try and highlight the rules for us down here. Let me grab the highlighter tool. I've got too many windows open. Here we go. So let me grab the highlighter here. So rule one down here, for short adjectives, we usually just add ER to the end, okay? So for short adjectives, we just add ER to the end. That's the rule. So not this one over here, that's wrong, okay? So this is actually an activity to see, do you know why, okay? For longer adjectives, what do? Do we add ER or do we go more plus? Usually we go more plus. Okay, usually we go more plus, okay? Number three, when we start a sentence with I think, is it an opinion or a fact? okay? And I think is an opinion, okay? So we can check through and make sure we understand that. Now, if you're not sure, we could go into the point about when do we say ER, when do we use more? The rules that I usually got taught is if the adjective has one syllable, we just put ER. If it has two syllables, like friendly, we can say more adjective, or we can say adjective ER, okay? So we can say friendlier, okay? Because friendlier, or we can say more friendly, okay? But if it has three syllables, for example, beautiful, okay, then we have to add more. We can't say beautifuler, okay? That's not correct, okay? We'd have to say more beautiful, okay? So one syllable, ER, three syllables, more. If it's two, you can use either, okay? But you will usually find, actually, some people say it one way more than they say it the other way with some words, okay? So those are the rules. We could talk about that with our students, but we're not worried too much about that right now. Let us move on a little bit, and we are going to make some sentences over here in activity D, okay? So here it says, number one, which are bigger, elephants or mice? Actually, let's open the activity window. Let's do it this way. Just give it 1 second to load. Here we go. Which are bigger, elephants or mice? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the answer. I would say elephants are bigger than mice, right? Period. Okay, and that should be good, right? Now, in the chat box, can you help me do the sentence for number 2? And I'm just going to copy and paste it in. Okay, which are stronger, mice or rhinos? So something are stronger than something. Okay, there we go. So someone's put it in the chat box. I'm going to try and copy before it disappears. It disappeared. Let me try and grab it. It's moving too fast. Okay, there we go. Let's see if I can do that one. Paste, there we go. So that's pasted from the chat box. Okay, number 3, which are more intelligent, dolphins or chickens? Okay, so we've got, I'm trying to grab it from the chat box before it disappears. Put a period on the end, okay. And the last one, which are friendlier, dogs or bears? Okay, we've got one about the dogs and the bears here. If I can grab it quickly. The chat box is moving too fast for me. I need to find the dogs and the bears again. Where are we? There we go. I found it. Oh, come on. Select. The chat box keeps moving on me. It's really hard to copy. Okay, there we go. Done. Okay, I got it finally. Okay, let's check and see if we got all the answers right for those ones. I think there's only, yes, there's only 4. So let's see if we got them all right. Well done, team. You guys did a good job. Okay, well done. So yeah, so with intelligent, usually we say, as it says in the question, we say more intelligent. Why is it intelligent? It's actually 4 syllables, right? We cannot say intelligenter. We can say more intelligent, okay? With the dogs and bears one, we could say dogs are more friendly than bears. That would be okay too, okay? Right, now I think you've got the idea. Let's go and play a game. We're gonna play a game for a little while here. Let me go off here and we're gonna switch screens again. Let's go back to here and we're gonna go down a little bit. Oh, actually, before I do that, actually, I remembered something else I want to check with you first, because before when we talked about spiders and cockroaches, we talked about them being scary, but people put some other words in there as well. Let's take a look at some other words we might use. I don't want this one. Don't want that one. I want this one. Sometimes we can say different words that mean the same thing. And these are called synonyms, right? Synonyms, 2 words that mean pretty much the same thing, okay? So let's take a look at some synonyms here for some of these adjectives, right? So let's see. So in the first one here, we've got fast, quick, and slow. Which 2 are synonyms? Which 2 go together? Fast and quick. Okay, so if we tick fast and quick, okay, good job. Okay, what about number 2? Search, walk, and look for. Which one for search, walk, and look for? Search and look for, says Marianne. Okay, right, what about number 3? Sad, ill, and sick. So Katharina says ill and sick. Good job. Number 4, Amu says save and rescue. Okay, and number 5, Number 5, Amu. Amu's very quick again. Incredible and amazing. Okay, so these are words, if the students don't know these words, we might have to spend a little time teaching them, right? But it gives students some ideas about what synonyms are, okay? And we've got them all right. Well done. You guys are incredible. You guys are also amazing. Okay, right, now that we've done that, let me go back. I'm going to close that. I'm going to switch share again. Let's go back to our game. Let's take a look at our game, because our game uses synonyms, okay? We're going to look down here, and you can see down here I've got a card game, and you can see I've got a fish, okay? And the fish has a card, and on the card it tells me about the fish. It says he is size 1 tick, he is height 1 tick, he is speed 4 ticks, okay? Intelligence 1 tick, happiness 2 ticks, friendliness and charisma, right? Okay, so these ones over here, these words, okay, these are all nouns, right? But over here, we want to talk about the adjectives that go with those. So if you see size, like we can say here, size 1. So is the fish big or is the fish small? Which one is the fish? Is the fish big or small? Big? Well, I think he's kind of small. If I explain, actually, there can be like 5 ticks here, right? So you can see the fish has got a lot of ticks and speed. So under speed, that probably means the fish is fast, right? But for size, because he's only got 1 tick, that probably means that the fish is small, okay? He's not a big fish, he's a small fish, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so from the ticks, you can see what word we can use, right? Now let's look at some of the other words here. So height, we can say tall or short, okay? You're either tall or you're short, okay? Speed, you can be fast or slow. Now, intelligence, you can be smart or intelligent, and those two are synonyms, right? Or you can be dumb or stupid, right? That's the other way, right? Okay, and those two are synonyms, okay? Okay, under happiness, we've got happy or sad, so they are not the same, okay? Under friendliness, we've got friendly, and then we've also got unfriendly and nasty, right? Okay, chat box is in the road again, sorry. We've got friendly, unfriendly, and nasty. Those two could be, maybe they're synonyms, okay? And then the last one here, charisma, we've got cute and beautiful, and those two are synonyms, and then we've got ugly, okay? Very good. So we've got lots of different words here we can use to describe the fish. So I could say here, what could I say about the fish? I could say the fish is small for size, the fish is short, the fish is fast, the fish is stupid, okay? The fish is maybe, I don't know, a little sad, I'm not sure, right? Not very sad, but a little sad, right? The fish is maybe a little friendly, yeah? And the fish is maybe he's a little bit ugly, okay? Okay, now this is using the adjective, but we want to use the comparative adjective. So in the chat box, can someone pick a number from 1 to 11? First number I see from number 8. Okay, so Arvin's put in number 8. Let me scroll down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is card number 8. Let me drag it up. It's a snake. Here we go. Okay, so we've got a snake and we've got a fish, and we want to compare the two things with each other. Okay, so how can we compare? Let me do an example. We've got the speed of the fish and we've got the speed of the snake. And I could say, which animal is faster, the snake or the fish? And you have to give me a complete sentence. Okay? Okay, which one would you do? Which one would you do? The snake is faster than the fish, says Melkor. Very good. The snake is faster than the fish. Very good job. Okay, what about we compare something else? So can you make another sentence comparing the snake and the fish using a different attribute, right? Using a different one, maybe friendliness or happiness or something like that. The fish is smaller than the snake. Very good, Mark. The fish is friendlier than the snake, Francis. Very nice. The cobra is bigger than the piranha. Wow, okay, now we're being very specific there. Very nice. The snake is larger than the fish. Very good. Okay, so we got a lot of, the fish is cuter than the snake. Yeah, They're kind of both the same charisma. I think maybe they're the same cuteness. I'm not sure, right? Anyway, good job. Okay, now let's choose another animal. Let's choose another one, right? So give me a number from 1 to 10 in the chat box. Number 1 to 10. Number 9, says Arvin. Arvin's very fast today. So here's number 9. Let's pull this one up. It's a monkey. So let's get rid of the fish and let's have a monkey instead of the fish. Okay, let's do one comparing the monkey with the snake. Can we make a sentence comparing the monkey with the snake? In the chat box, go, go, go. The monkey is as big as the snake, right? Or you can say they are the same size, yes. That's getting more complicated. Very nice. The monkey is smarter than the snake, yes, that's true. The monkey is nastier than the snake. The snake is pretty nasty because the snake has 0 for friendliness. I think the snake is nastier than the monkey, okay? Right, what else have we got here? The monkey is taller than the snake, good, because of the height, yeah. The monkey is friendlier than the snake. The monkey is slower than the snake, yeah. The monkey is uglier than the snake. The charisma of the monkey is a little bit bigger. The snake is a little bit less. I think we need to change that one, okay? Good, okay, good job. You're doing well though. We're getting lots of practice at doing the right grammar anyway, even if our logic is slightly off, that's okay. Okay, another one, number from 1 to 9. Give me a number from 1 to 9. Let's choose a new card. 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I think that's this one. Oh, look, it's me. Okay, okay, we found the Teacher Andrew card. Okay, so let's see. Do you agree? Teacher Andrew is size 3, height 3, speed 2, intelligence 4, happiness 5, friendliness 5, charisma 2. Okay, this is the Teacher Andrew card. Let's compare Teacher Andrew with the monkey. Okay, okay, good job. So let's make some sentences with Andrew and the monkey. Okay, Andrew is as cute as, no, my charisma is less. I think the monkey is cuter than Teacher Andrew. Yeah, that's right, Arvin. Very good. Okay. Okay, what else can we say? What else can we say here? Teacher Andrew is happier than the monkey. Yes, probably. I'm smiling. The monkey is not. Andrew is bigger than the monkey. Yep. Teacher Andrew is friendlier than the monkey. Smarter than the monkey. Actually, we're both 4. I think the monkey and I are the same when it comes to being smart. Okay. Teacher Andrew is friendlier than the monkey. Teacher Andrew is more what than the monkey? Amina, I missed your name, but Teacher Andrew is bolder than the monkey, or more bald than the monkey. That's true. Very, very true. Very nice. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one more. So for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to take Teacher Andrew away here. We'll get rid of Teacher Andrew. And so you can see I've got, whoa, hang on, I'm resizing. I don't want to change myself, make myself bigger and smaller. I've got a lot of different animals and things here. One of them, I think, is it this one? Yeah, this one is like the card that the student can make for themselves, right? And then they can make their own card, and then they could put in their own size and height and speed, and they'll probably give themselves all 5, 5, 5, but that's okay. And then they can compare themselves. Yeah, they can compare themselves to me or to other animals and things like that. But I think you can see how this game works, right? So lots of different cards, lots of different animals. And we can talk about the different qualities of the different animals and get lots of practice comparing. And you can do it with the chat box. You can do it orally as well, right? In the class, everybody has some cards and you can play in little groups together, right? We can have a bit of fun with that, okay? So yeah, it doesn't take long to make the cards. I just made them in a Word document, like copy paste, and then just put some text and pictures on, and there we go, right? Lots of fun. Good job. Okay, I'm glad you had a bit of fun with that. But given the time, we'd better move on. I want to go and look at some reading. I want to look at some reading. So we're going to stop this one and jump over back to our content here. Let's zoom out and go back a page. Okay, so what can you see here on the page? What can you see on the page here? Let me zoom in a little more. What can you see here? A mouse. Actually, it's more than a mouse, it's a rat. A mouse is small, a rat is much, much larger, right? This is a rat. And up in the background here, we've got some people. Yeah? Is this a rat trap, someone said? It's a mega rat. Okay, it's a big rat. Now, what do you notice about the people in the back? What do you see about the people? It's a scary rat. I'm not sure if he's scary. I think he's pretty nice, actually. What do you see about the people? in the background? No, they're not statues. They are real people, Romina. Are they trying to catch the rat? Actually, they're not. The rat is on a line. You can see the line, and the rat is on a cord here, so he can't get away. Are they hurting the rat? No. But if you look at the people in the back, their clothes look a little strange, right? And it's not in focus. Actually, they're wearing like body armor, right? And the reason is, if I go down here a little bit, what's that thing on the ground there? That is a landmine, right? That is a landmine. So what the rats do is the rats are trained and they put this cable, this wire across a piece of land, and they put the rat on, and the rat can run along and he can sniff for the landmine. Now, this picture is not a real situation. This is a rat in training, I believe. But if we look up here at the caption, you can see here it says, a rat uses its nose to find the landmine in the country of Mozambique, okay? Because in Mozambique, they had a war, and lots of people left landmines behind, and it creates lots of danger, right? So these animals are helping people. So we've got some working animals, okay? Now here it says, skim the article. First little activity, skim the article. What is the article about? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm literally going to scroll down the page, and you have to quickly look at this, but you're not gonna have time to read it all, because I'm just gonna do this. You are skimming the article. And you're done. Okay, so if we go back to the top, what is this article about? What is this article about? Is it rare animals, how animals help people, or how people train animals? What is it about? Some people are saying C, some people are saying B. This one is actually about how animals help people. They are working animals that help people. The picture is probably training the rat, but the article is actually about how animals help people, okay? Okay, so what we're going to do is, let's just read the article. I'm gonna give you some, I'm just gonna zoom out a fraction so you can see the whole thing. There we go. So just read it. I'll give you 1 minute or so to read it. You can see there is audio. I could play the audio, but let's just read it very quickly here and see what you can find, right? Okay, so all of these 3 types of animals that are mentioned here, well, it's groups of animals, are all helping people, right? And you can see it's about helping people because the first one here says rats save lives, right? It's got rats save lives in the first paragraph. And the second one, it says therapy animals make people feel better. And the third one, it says rescue dogs help people in trouble. So it's all about helping people, right? The topic sentences, exactly, right? Thanks, Luca, right? Okay, so let's take a quick look at the activity here. So we could read this in class. We might go through it more and look at the words and look at the vocabulary more. But let's look at here. We're going to do this little activity here. Let it load. It's coming, it's coming. Here we go. Okay, so here it says, scan the article, underline things a therapy animal does. Okay, let's underline, what does a therapy animal do? What does it do? Okay, so I'm emphasizing do because that means we're probably going to be looking for verbs, right? Okay, so therapy animals make people feel better. This is the verb part, so let's underline the verb part, okay? Okay, so let's look at the second one. What's another thing we can say about therapy animals here? Therapy animals help sick people, okay? Help sick people, good. Make people feel better, we've got that one. Hang out with lonely people, okay. What else have we got? Make them feel happier, okay. What else have we got? They go everywhere with their owners, okay. Is that all? I think that might be all. Nobody's mentioned anything else. Let's check and see if we got all those answers right. Yes, we did. Good job. So we found all the things that the therapy animals do. So scanning through the text, looking for the details, we found a lot of different things that they do, right? And so we're focusing on the verbs. Okay. Very good. Okay, so we'll leave that reading activity alone. Obviously, we can spend more time on the reading, okay? But I want to go and take a quick look at a cute video. Whenever you go and looking at videos, everyone's looking at cat videos, right? Let's go and look at a cat video for a bit of fun. So we're going to be looking here. It says how cats jump. And if you look at the bottom, down here, we've got a cat jumping from one place to another, or two cats probably by the looks of it. Okay, there are different cats there. So we've got a question here. It says, before you watch, make a guess. A cat can jump up to 2 times its own height, 6 times its own height, or 10 times its own height. So if the cat is this tall, can it jump 2 times its height, 6 times its height, or 10 times its height? What do you think? So we're getting quite a number of B's and C's. So nobody's saying 2. Lots of people are saying 6 or maybe 10. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we've made a prediction. We will go and check that out in a moment. Okay, now we're going to watch the video and we're going to try and see what these cats do, okay? So we've got 3 names of 3 cats. Let's just make sure we know these names. Name 1 is Missy. Cat is Missy, okay? Number 2 is Steve, okay? And number 3 is Mr. Waffles, okay? So we've got Missy, Steve, and Mr. Waffles. So as you watch the video, I want you to pay attention to what does Missy do, what does Steve do, and what does Mr. Waffles do, okay? Now the 3 options we've got here are slipped and fell. Slipped and fell. So maybe slipped and fell is like, whoops, okay, and fall over, right? Okay, jumped onto a table. So it's probably something like jumped onto a table, like that, right? And number 3 there is jumped and hit a window. So it's probably like, boom, right? Something like that. So I just use an action just in case my students aren't sure about the words, okay? Okay, let's take a look at the video. So if I open the video screen, now on the screen, can you see a black box for a video? I just want to make sure you can see it before I play it. Can you see a small black box on the screen for a video? Yes? Okay, let's do this.
Cats can jump up to 6 times their own height. They have powerful back legs and are very light. Can humans leap better than cats? Maybe not.
I guess no. Pain.
Missy is preparing to jump. Her body is now like a spring. She uses her strong back legs as she jumps upwards. When she lands, she pulls herself up with her back legs. She then uses her claws to stop.
Okay.
In the wild, cats use their jumping skills to hunt. Even house cats like to hunt. Steve sees his prey. He waited, he pounced. He forgot about the window. It's cold. Mr. Waffles needs to find somewhere warmer to sit. He makes a leap and falls. He wanted to jump up by pushing down and backwards on the car roof. But he slipped on the ice and fell to the ground.
Very cute. Okay, very good. So looking at the video, can cats jump better than people? Can they jump higher than people? Yeah? Yes, they can, right? So we're using that phrase that we've seen. Okay, let's quickly check the answers over here about Missy, Steve, and Mr. Waffles. So I think you've got them all. I saw them in the chat box. So Missy, what did Missy do? Jumped onto a table. Okay, let's join those two. What have we got? Steve, what did Steve do? What did Steve do? Steve jumped and hit a window. Okay, and Mr. Waffle slipped and fell, and yes, I think we're good on those. Very nice job. Okay, and yes, the answer that someone else put in the chat box is cats can jump 6 times their own height. If you train a cat, they can learn to jump higher. But yeah, 6 times is what they do. But cats in the Olympics, maybe they can go better than that. Okay, very good. Okay, so just looking at the time, maybe we've got time for one little thing more. Let's close this and let's jump back. One of the other pieces that's in here as well, if I go back a page here, is a little writing activity, okay? And we can kind of do this in the chat box just because we've got a little bit of time. So down here it says, look at the blog post. Sorry, I'm trying to move the chat window. Read the beginning of the post. It says, iguanas are great pets because they are special. Many people have dogs and cats, but not iguanas. Iguanas are cleaner than rabbits because ... And then we've got a reason, okay? Okay, so here, part B, it says, describe your favorite pet or other animal. What do you like about it? Okay, so if it was me, for example, in the chat box, I could say, if I can get the chat box working for me again. Okay, I could say, I think, I'm putting this in the chat box, cats are the best, I got to type right. Cats are the best pets. And then I could say cats are friendlier than dogs. Okay, so in the chat box, I just wrote like the beginnings of my little blog post, okay? Or I can say, I think cats are friendlier than dogs because the cat will sit in my lap and the dog doesn't, okay? Or something like this, okay? So let's do a little writing practice really quickly. Can you follow the iguana example? Can you write in the chat box what you think about the best pet? What is the #1 pet? Okay, you'll notice here we're using superlative, right? We haven't really talked about superlative, but we can follow a model anyway, right? Okay, so in the chat box, if you can type in a couple of sentences about what you think is the best pet and maybe a reason why. Okay, okay, so Amina says, I like dogs better than cats because they are more faithful to their owners. Very nice, good job. Okay, we just need to pluralize some things there. I think, Vanessa says, I think dogs are more friendly and adorable, more adorable than cats. So adorable, 4 syllables. So we would have to say more adorable, okay? Daryl says, iguanas are cute. Daryl, tell me why. Okay. Roland says, I like dogs because they are friendly. Thank you. Marvilla says, iguanas are easy to hold and cute. Okay, so if we wanted to make that comparative, we could say, I think iguanas are easier to hold and cuter than a dog, for example, right? Very good. Melchor says, in my opinion, cats are the best pets. So you'd have to say they are better than dogs because they are the most introverted animals. Okay, cool. Very nice. Okay. Someone said dogs is more smarter than cats. We can't say more smarter. We can say smarter. We can say more smart. You could say that. It would be a little unusual, but you could say that. But you can't say more smarter, right? So again, as my students are doing this, we can talk about the grammar corrections we need to make these things right. Okay. If I'm doing it on a paper, let me just show you what I would do if I was doing a writing activity on paper. I've mentioned this in some other trainings I've been in before. So let me say I've got a student. Let me just tidy up my windows here a bit. Too many chat boxes and things. Try and move this one out the road. So if I've got a student who says something like that, so maybe my student says, I think dog are more smarter than cats. Let's say my student writes this one, right? And I want to help them correct it. This is what I do when I'm doing corrections a lot of the time. What I will do is I will just highlight or circle the things that have a problem. Like that, okay? And then I'll try and get the student to see if they can fix it by themselves, or maybe they can ask one of their friends to fix the problem. Okay, and if they can, then great, right? So if my student can come along and they can say, I need an S, and actually, let me just take this one away, and now I'm okay. right? If my students can make their own corrections, then they become more aware of the grammar and what the correct answer is or how they should be saying things, right? So yeah, so when I'm doing writing corrections, I don't usually write them. I just circle things for my students, try and get them to correct it by themselves. Okay, great. Okay, good job. So I think that's about all we've got time for today, but I hope that was useful. Hope that was interesting. I'm going to switch back to here, where we were talking about the material we were using today. So if I just go down here, today we were talking about time zones. It's the 3rd edition of this program. It's a teens 4 skills English course. It covers a lot of things in communication because like when we were playing that card game or doing other things, there's a lot of oral work going on. And there's also opinions like I think, I feel, in my opinion. You know, we're encouraging communication, okay? We're working on global citizenship. We're trying to get people to understand different points of view, different values, different cultures, like why do they need to have landmine rats in Mozambique, for example? And also some critical thinking. We want to have reasons for what we say, not just say stuff. We want to be able to have reasons or judge situations and make a judgment call, okay? Today, I was doing level 2 material, and you can see level 2 material is really still at the beginner level. It's an A1 level. The program goes from very beginner all the way up to like lower intermediate. So it's good for learners who are just starting out in English, maybe at middle school level, okay? And this edition is the 3rd edition. The editions have just keep being improved from user feedback. So now we're up to the 3rd edition. People commented on the 2nd edition. We made all those changes to make it even better. So it's an even better program. So time zones, 3rd edition is better than time zones 2nd edition, okay? So if you're using any of the prior editions of time zones, you might want to take a look at the 3rd edition to improve the learning with your students, okay? Good one. So Kitty's put the companion site and the page into the chat box, so you can go check it out a little bit more. But if you do want to find out more, let me ask you in the poll. So I want to, hang on a minute. I want to switch polls here. Here we go. So let's open this one up. If you say yes to the question that's in the poll here, we will send you some more information about Time Zones 3rd edition. If you say no, that's fine, we won't. But if you want to find out more, just let us know, and we will send you some more information tomorrow. We'll send you an email tomorrow with a bit more information. Okay, very nice. So I'm going to leave the poll running there as I just look over the next couple of slides. So we're going to look at Q&A, but just before we do that, I just want to make mention today, as I just mentioned, we're making a recording. There is a follow-up survey and a certificate. Those will come to you tomorrow in an email. The certificate is a digital e-certificate. You can write your own name into the certificate. It's an editable file, okay? So when you get the certificate from the survey, you can put your own name in it and print it off, okay? We've also got 2 more series of webinars coming up next week, okay? So on November 10th, Tuesday, we've got one of our authors, Christian Lee, is doing a webinar about preparing for exam success. And then on Thursday, November 12th, will be doing a lesson like I did today using the Pathways program, which is an academic skills and program which helps to prepare you for standardized testing, assessment, and things like this, okay? So you can check that out at the webinars page. And a couple of last things. Some of you may already know that we are running an event at the moment called Learning Moments, okay? What are learning moments? Learning moments are 2 things. They're a chance for you to get some of your ideas in a professional development book that's being published by National Geographic Learning. And the second thing is, even if your ideas don't go into that book, they can still be shared with lots of other teachers around the world, okay? So what we want you to do is reflect on things that you've been doing in your classes to make your classes more engaging, especially if you're teaching online or some sort of blended or webinar style class at the moment, okay? How are you keeping your students engaged, okay? And then we want you to share your ideas, and you can do that with, you can just make a video on your phone, or you can write a little description and send in a photo of what you're doing, okay? And then you can upload it to the Learning Moments website, which is down here, okay? And so if I go to the next page, just a little bit more about it, the two people who are writing the book I mentioned are these two people, Dr. Joan Kang-shin and Dr. Jared Borup, and they're making a book about how better to teach online and in a blended learning environment. Okay, the name of their book is called Breaking Through the Screen. Okay, and they're looking for your suggestions of what else we can put into this book. Okay, so that's why we're running this event. If you are chosen, then Joan or Jared would get in touch with you to learn more about your idea and get your permission to put it into their book. Okay, great. And then finally, here are a couple of examples of what have been submitted. So you can see on the page here, some people have been putting in some different activities and things. The one on the right here is a video, I think. I think this one's a video. Someone's here talking about what they're doing in their kind of chat lessons when they're working with students, okay? So you can see lots of different examples if you just go to the website and find out more about it. And as Kitty just said, the deadline for this event is the end of November, okay? So you've got about 3.5 weeks to put in your submission. You don't have to think about it too hard. Just think of something really fun you've been doing in class, and then maybe it's an online class, maybe it's not, that's okay. Just make a little video about it, write up an example about it, and then submit it to the website, okay? Very good. Okay, so let's go back. I'll just take a quick look and see if there's any Q&A now. I think a lot of the questions have already been answered. Thank you to Kitty and Will for doing that. But in the chat box, if you have any other questions, do let me know. I'll hang around for a few more minutes and we'll see what sort of questions anyone has. But if you need to get away, thanks for coming and we'll see you again real soon, yeah? So if anyone has any questions, feel free to use Q&A or chat box now, and we'll try and answer a couple of things for you. And you are most welcome, those people saying thank you in the chat box. Simon's asked, how to be a teacher trainer like you? Just help lots of teachers and eventually someone will start calling you a teacher trainer, right? Teacher trainers, mainly we just help teachers, right? That's what we try and do. So Kitty, Will and I, we're all just helping you, trying to help you get better, right? Daniel in the Q&A box asked about the certificates. Daniel, it will come tomorrow in an email, okay? You will get an email. In the email, it will have the recording and the survey. You do the survey, and at the bottom of the survey is the link for the certificate, okay? Right, the survey is only 4 questions. It's really short, okay? Thank you very much, Daniel. Good question though, it's good for everybody to know that, okay? Thank you, everybody. Everybody's saying thank you, thank you. It doesn't seem we've got any more questions at the moment. Thank you, Kitty and Will, for helping with us today. Much appreciated. I saw a couple of our other National Geographic Learning teammates here as well. Thanks for coming, people. Nice to see you on board. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, and try and take some of the ideas and see how you can adapt them with your students, no matter what age your students are. You might be able to use some of the ideas today. Maybe you have to adapt them a little. But yeah, try them out, see how it goes. Okay. So in the Q&A box, Nurtamaha asks, do you have a term for the manner of doing corrective feedback that you share? So I'm assuming you're meaning the writing, okay? The writing. It's not really, I don't think it's a term, it's more like just an idea or a concept of, if I write the answers for my students, then I am giving them the answer, right? But they don't get the chance to discover the problem and discover the answer, right? So when I'm indicating to the students by circling or highlighting where the problem is, then I'm putting their focus on that point and I'm saying, there's a problem here. Can you figure out what it is? And do you know how to fix it? Okay. And by doing that, I'm making them think more, right? And so rather than me just feeding them the answer, I'm making them think and they can discover the problem and discover the answer. Maybe they need some help to do that. Maybe they need my help or another student's help, but discovering the answer is usually, I find at least, a more effective learning method than me just telling them the answer. okay? It does take a little longer for the students to do, but then the other side of it, actually, sometimes it saves me time because I'm doing a bit less work. So yeah, so think of it that way. I hope that helps, okay? So Ricardo, the survey form for the webinar will come in an email for you tomorrow. Someone just asked, do you get the certificate even if you joined late? Yes, you do. As long as you are here at some stage, we will give you the certificate. Because we know some people log in, but then, you know, something happens, they can't stay. But yeah, as long as you were on the Zoom in the live meeting right now, then yeah, you'll get the certificate, okay? For people on Facebook Live, if anyone's watching on Facebook Live, sorry, I didn't mention you earlier, but on Facebook Live, sorry, we don't have the certificate for Facebook Live because we can't track your attendance, okay? Great. Great. So Francis, thank you for your email. We've actually got that from your registration, so we will be able to send it through there. That's great. Thank you very much. Anything else? And DeLuca says, how much time do you give a student to think of an answer before you help them? So I'm assuming, again, you mean with the writing, okay, with the writing assignment. So if I'm doing the writing corrections, what I would usually do is maybe the students have given me writing and maybe they're doing an activity and I grade, like I circle what's wrong. Maybe then I give it back to them, and as a class, everybody's got 5 minutes to work individually on their problems, right? Depends how many problems there are, right? Or maybe I would also say, okay, here are the things, take it home, see if you can figure it out for homework, and if you can't, then we'll talk about it next time, okay? So yeah, so there's some different ways to do that, okay? Good one. Okay. Gannis asked, when and where and when can we get a copy of time zones? If you go to our website, and we'll send you the link in an email tomorrow as well, you can download a sample copy, a digital sample copy of like an entire unit of time zones. There's also a lot more information there. And if you want to actually get a full copy, then you can use the website to get in touch with our representative in your local area. And then if you talk to them, they'd be able to get you a physical sample copy or a digital sample copy, whichever is going to be more appropriate. Okay. Valerie, thank you for your note there. I'm going to take your email address if I can. Can I copy that somehow? Hang on, I'm trying to copy. I'm just going to take a photo of it. Let me do it this way. I will try and send you the certificate that you're asking for later today, okay? Just taking a photo of your message on the screen. Thank you, Valerie. I'll get back to you later today. Okay. Good one. Any other questions? I think we're good. Suki says, is the card game that I did effective if you play in a group? Actually, yes. I would normally play that game in a group, okay? My group could just be 2 students. It could be 3 or 4 or 5 students, but I would not do that game as a class, right? Because if I do it as a class, then usually only 1 or 2 people are talking at a time, right? If I put it into groups, so let's say I have 25 students in my class and I do it in groups of, even if I do it in groups of 5, I've got 5 different groups playing the game, then I'm going to have 5 people making sentences about their game at the same time. That's more language production, right? If I do it in groups of 3, I'm going to have like 8 groups. I'm going to have 8 people speaking independently all at the same time. So if you can take that kind of game and do it in small groups, so it's very student-centered, you'll get a lot more language practice, right? And language practice is what helps your students in the long run, right? So yeah, so definitely do try and play it in groups. Today, we couldn't do it in groups. I mean, this setting, we can only do it as a whole class. I would model or explain as a whole class and then let people actually play in small groups, okay? So I hope that answers your question there. Very good. Okay, so I think that's okay. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Can we change the object of the game? Yes, of course, you can change it to anything. Alfian in the Q&A box. Yeah, you could change it to anything. I mean, today we were focusing on animals in the topic, so that's why I used animal cards, but you could have cards for anything. Those little cards, actually, I could use them to play other sorts of games as well, right? because there's a lot of different adjectives or qualities on there. So now we're doing comparatives, right? But maybe if I want my students to just write about the animal, and it's not a comparatives lesson, we could do something about that as well, right? They could use the card as the source of what they're writing about, right? Maybe we can use the cards in another way to maybe ask the students, if I had a team of animals to do a task, which would the best team of 2 or 3 animals to be? And then they're kind of matching animals together to try and create a good animal team that's maybe complementary or something like that. There's so many different ways you can try and think to use little cards like that. Once you've made them one time, you can use them again and again, right? So yeah, try different things and see what you can do with it, right? Yeah. Okay. I think that's all. Reynard, you asked in a question box, will you always provide us with updating our tools as you have been doing so far? What do you mean by updating our tools, Reynard? Ronaldo, sorry. I'm not quite sure what you mean by updating our tools. If you can explain in the chat box, then I'll be able to answer your question. Someone's asked, yes, there is another session tonight at 6 p.m. I will be doing the same lesson again. It's for those people who could not come this morning. It's a repeat session, okay? So it's not another session, it's just a repeat of this one. It'll be live still. If you want to join in again, you can, that's fine. You know all the answers already. Yeah, you'll be able to, if you've got friends that you want to join in or workmates or things, then they can join tonight at it's 6 p.m. Singapore time. So that is about 7 hours from now, whatever your local time is. Add 7 hours, we'll be starting at that time, at the top of the hour, okay? So Ronaldo, the online material, yeah, we keep updating the online, like the presentation tools, the digital documents and things like that. Yeah, those are being updated fairly regularly, okay? So we keep trying to do that for you all the time, okay? Great. Okay, well, I think that seems to be all. Thank you very much, everybody. So we're gonna let everybody get away. Enjoy the rest of your day. For most of us, it's probably approaching lunchtime. So enjoy your lunch. Not for the person I saw from Peru, but thanks for attending. And like I said, if you've got friends or colleagues and they want to come along tonight for the session, well, tonight my time, about 7 hours from now, let them know, join in, they can have some fun too. But apart from that, we'll see you next week when you want to come to Christian's webinar and Will's webinar on Tuesday and Thursday, okay? So have a great day and we'll see you again soon. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Lewis. Good night from Peru. Terima kasih, Alfian. Thanks, everybody.